Hello, I think we're live.
We sure are. Hey, everyone. Welcome to an impromptu Sunday live stream.
Ooh, how's it going, Nicole? What are you
I,
up to?
I'm great. I'm having a great weekend. I've been painting my office, and this is a lovely break from that. So thanks for streaming with me.
Of course.
What have you been up to this fine weekend?
We went on a bit of a bike ride yesterday because
Ooh,
I got a new to me bike. My first bike as a grown up that was actually for me.
nice.
So I was really excited about that. And it has like the handlebars I like. We put a seat on that I like. And so it's all ready to be rode. I don't know grammar.
Eh, grammar's overrated.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
fun.
yes, I'm very excited. We have lots of friends here already. There's
We do.
Lisa,
Highlight some
Lori.
highlight some comments. Lisa and Lori, Mr. Langer Lab, Sarah's Corner,
Hi.
Charlie, and the Clown Town.
Hello, friend.
Ove and Elaine, or I meant to click on Elaine, but apparently I also clicked on Amanda.
So
Red
many.
Wing BB and Anastasia Harrison. Welcome everybody. So should we introduce ourselves before we get too into it? Because I know this is going to both of our channels right now. So
So do you want to go first?
oh sure, why not? So my name is Nicole. I own a marketing company called Breaking Even Communications, and this is streaming to my channel. And I talk about all things marketing. And there's going to be a cat here because it's nighttime and he just wants to make his presence known. So excuse the floof.
We love floofs. So I'm so excited to be streaming with Nicole. I have a channel. I just call it Heather C. I like to make streams and videos about Amway and thank you, Nicole. That's so nice. Amway and MLM coaches and very few business coaches in there as well. But I like to stream. It's my favorite because we get to talk to the live chat. And I just put Nicole's link in there. And any friends who are on my channel who don't already know Nicole, you can go check out her channel and subscribe.
Yes, and I'll be periodically also linking Heather's channel too. So if you're on my channel, thanks for watching and check out Heather too. If you like me, you'll like her too because
I feel like we have similar styles.
We do. And today's topic is somebody that both Heather and I are, I don't know, I wouldn't use the word enamored. That's not it. But like we're both lightly charmed by this guy, but we know he's not good. Okay. We're just gonna say that. Okay. And I was telling Heather that he reminds me of a guy I dated in my 20s, which I finally figured out today because I was like, what is it? So I think he's just has a little riz for me because he reminds me of that time in my life, and I'm not really sure. Yeah, like what do you find? Would you say that you find Frazer Brooks slightly charming?
I think I appreciate people who are a bit nerdy and who have a certain kind of sense of humor. And I do think that he's very personable.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be very approachable in real life. And if he was just with his exact personality and his intelligence, he's smart. If he was doing something else in the public eye, I would like him and I would want to follow. Mm-hmm. But I just can't stand that someone with his personality and his intelligence is in this kind of field.
Yeah, exactly. And I think his father was into.
We're going to learn about that.
Oh, are we? Okay. So Heather has watched this video and I haven't because I've been painting for 1,000 years. So yeah, so this video is called Top 10 Skills You Need to Succeed in Network Marketing and it's about 20 minutes long. So we've got plenty of time for commentary. Yeah. And then Lori says we are all into the MLM bad boys, which I thought was really funny. And some people knew that it would be Frazer Brooks. Yes. Yeah. And it is sad, like Elaine says, so sad that he is using his talents and stuff. And that's what I mean is I hope these people pivot into something else, but you know, what can we do? All right. So should we start watching this thing?
I'm ready.
All right. So I will say, like, because I'm normally used to him with his like whiteboard and stuff. So like this is a very so those of you listening, it looks like I can't tell if this is a green screen or if this is just a very uncluttered kitchen. My kitchen doesn't look like this. But he's got like gray cabinets and sort of a marble countertop, and there might be 2 appliances on the but that's it. It's very minimalist. So
For sure. So if I want you to pause it, I'll just wave.
Yes. Or just, yeah, or just say whoa, 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 or I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on you for like
Okay.
looks of horrified expressions. So
Sounds good.
here we go.
Hey there, James Frazer Brooks here, and in this video I want to share with you the 10 fundamental, vital, important skills you must have and develop in order to build a thriving network marketing business. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a network marketing coach, speaker, and trainer. I've spoken on stages all over the world, written 3 best-selling books, and I've helped over 250,000 people through our programs build their network marketing business. And now I want to be able to help you. So let's get right into it. All right, so skill number 1. This one.
Yeah. They're always so general with explaining their success in the network marketing coaching industry. So he's helped 250,000 people in their network marketing business. Help them with what? Did you help them make $100 a month? Did you help them expand their social media platforms? Did you help them make an actual living? Help them with what, sir? That's my question.
Yeah, well, and it's like, okay, does someone watching your video, does that constitute as helping them? Like if I watch one of your training videos, have I been helped, or are you actively working with these people? Yeah. So yeah, just to kind of a floof update is there's 2 cats.
Oh,
so
really?
you saw one cat go by, and then there's the other cat here. So someone just mentioned the floof, the stripy floof, and then there's the gray, very floofy tail. So you'll see a couple and go by. This is their witching hour. And once my office is done being painted and ready to go, I'll stream from there. So there will be less floofs. But
hi, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
It might sound obvious, but it's personal development. Now, I would say that personal development is a skill because it requires a level of commitment, a level of energy, a level of time for you to actually commit to the process. So let's say that you're going to wake up and you're going to read 10, 15 minutes of a book. What book are you going to read? What time of the day are you going to read it? Why are you actually going to read it? Are you making notes? Are you reading books or are you studying books? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you watching YouTube videos? Are you listening to audibles? Or are you simply just reading the book? So skill number 1 is really establishing what your personal development routine is. Now, here is what I will say. Personal development is not necessarily an income-producing activity. Yes, you building your list and inviting people is going to most likely build your business and move it forward. However, you're not going to get paid on what you want. You're going to get paid on who you are, and who you are will be determined by the amount of personal development that you can consume. So,
yeah, I love what you both were like.
You gotta go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to, or do you want me to?
No, go ahead. Yeah, no.
I asked if you wanted to go, and you said yes, and then you didn't say anything.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you meant yeah. Go. You got this.
We don't get paid on what we do. We get paid on who we are. I think that's strange because I'm thinking about in my job, any job I've ever had, the closest thing to personal development that I've done is like LinkedIn courses, or I get sent to a really educational educational conference, or I do an online webinar that's related to my role, or maybe a skill that I identified in like my performance review or something that I want to improve, right? So it's based on my career goals. I've never had to do something like this before, where I have to become a certain kind of person in order to find success in my job. Question for you, as an actual business owner, do you ever have to do personal development, not professional, but personal development to be successful in your job, in your businesses?
I mean, I guess the only thing I could think of that's sort of adjacent to this is like time management. So like there's infinite things you could be doing like with your time.
Yep.
And so I saw this like interesting video the other day, and it was this guy basically said, you know, make an empty Google Calendar and then like time block what your ideal week would be. You know, like what your week would look like, you know, just so that make sure you have time for everything. And I thought that was an interesting exercise. So for example, like I always mean to walk in the morning and I never feel like doing it. So instead I built in a half-hour walk on my lunch break.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, okay, like I could do that. Like I gotta just make sure I have sneakers at the office. I have to make sure I don't like accept a meeting that's like noon to 12:30, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I would just say like that. Yeah. Yeah. And there's some interesting comments that I kind of want to,
Yes. Go for it.
that, yeah, like Rachel says, I'm reading a book, Sensibility. I reread Pride and Prejudice every year, so I totally get this. And when I read books, I like try to alternate between these sort of like fiction and nonfiction. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, this is what makes him a coach instead of someone who's qualified. Excellent. Yeah. And then someone's like, yeah, this giving Rachel Hollis vibes. And then Elaine says, the hospital I work at requires some training to keep up with your certifications, right? CEUs. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten says, like, as someone with ADHD, like, it can be so disheartening, right? Like, and again, like, we can sort of, understand that, like, not all these things are going to work with people. Like, yeah, mental health therapy is different. Yeah, shaming people for not centering your life around network marketing is the goal here. Yeah. So, and yeah.
The only thing I just thought of that related to personal development, I guess, when I started out my job, we had online training stuff, and there's some focus on interpersonal conflict and problem solving.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel that version is directly related to me doing my job well. It's interpersonal communication so I can get along with my colleagues, so we can work well together and complete our deliverables. It's not you need to change your brain in such a way that you never see the negative in anything, that you don't have time for your hobbies because you're always thinking about work. I think it's a little bit different.
Right. And I feel like personal development, it's like, let's fundamentally change who you are versus like, oh, let's give you the skills to deal with that difficult coworker potentially or whatever, like that's different. That's, I think within the healthy boundaries. But yeah, like in terms of, I think it sounds like everybody in the chat too, like we do professional development for work stuff. And then if you want to get good at something in your spare time, like if you want to, I don't know, get good at knitting or read a book or something, like by all means, but like this constant quest of self-improvement. And what's really funny is I don't think he'll ever say like how much time does he spend on self-improvement or what's his self-improvement plan, because these people never want to give you an actual goalpost for which you can measure your own progress, right? Because if you're not successful, they can just say, well, you weren't doing enough, but they'll never tell you what enough is, so that they can always say that.
Yep. So. Such a good point. I'm ready.
All right.
I want you to look at personal development a little bit differently. And here's something that I do that's helped me massively. Get an Alexa or something similar and just tell it to play a popular podcast that you like is in the business or personal development space. You got Ed Milet, you got Alex Hormozy, you got Tony Robbins.
I like how they're so in case you're listening, these figures are popping up from like underneath the video, like little outlines of these people. And the central guy in particular looks like he's really scared or something. that was like kind of a jump scare. So
isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Heck, I've got a podcast called the Network Marketing Ninja Podcast. Now, just make sure that it's playing all day, every day in the room that you're going to pass through.
That sounds awful.
So if you're working in the dining room, have it in the dining room. If you're working in an office space and you go into the kitchen often to go get yourself some water or food, put it in the kitchen, right? You want to be able to constantly consume personal development, whether you're paying attention to it or not. The second place is in the car. When you're driving in the car, what are you listening to? If it's Eminem, Lose Yourself, or if it's Justin Bieber, whatever it might be, then that's only going to serve your entertainment side. You always need to be kind of fueling your education side. Okay, so
is he saying we can't listen to like fun music in the car?
Did you see what Kirsten said? What he is describing is so awful, but seems very Amway. The Amway friends tell us replace your music with Amway audios. Never watch TV, just listen to your Amway audios. And it's the same idea. Kirsten's right. They want, in this case, it's not audios, it's personal development, but they want it to take over your whole life. So in any room you go in, you're going to hear Ed Milet play in the background. In your car, you're going to hear Tony Robbins telling you how to be a man, I guess, his version. You're never just turned off. You're always on, and you always have to be focusing on your business. And for you as a small business owner, are you constantly listening to things to improve your business? Are you?
No, I mean, like I had to do a bunch of like short format video editing the other day, so I kind of had to listen to that while I was, like it's
Yeah.
just like impractical to be listening. Like if you're trying to write an email and you're listening, I don't know, I can't do both.
Mhm.
Um like if I can listen to music in another language while I like write in English or
Yeah.
something, but I can't be listening to words and also getting my work done. So
Oh,
I'm not really.
I listen to, like, DC or R&Bs all day long when I work, and I
Like,
edit really complicated things, I just listen to them.
oh my God, that's amazing. My brain just can't, like, it's too much. Good for
Yeah.
you though. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
sometimes I will listen to like your stream or DCs or something. Like
Yeah.
if I'm like, cleaning out my email, or if I'm like
Yeah.
arranging stuff in a document or something. But yeah, but sometimes if I'm like writing or something, or like editing video or something, I can't be listening to anything else. And
Mhm.
sometimes I just wear my headphones. I work in a co-working space, and I just
Mhm.
wear the headphones, like, don't talk to me, because I'm in a shared space. But I can't imagine. Can you imagine living with
Lori
someone who would do this?
Lori said I start typing whatever I'm hearing. Are you like that too, Nicole?
Yeah, probably. I just get distracted. I like stop typing and I start like listening or whatever. I was
That's so
also that kid who couldn't do anything else while I was watching TV. Like my family still makes fun of me. Like I walk in the room and I'm like, you're watching the TV. I
that's
can
so
only do one thing at a time. I'm not a multitasker.
I love that, that's funny.
Yeah. Nice. And it sounds like some people like listen to audiobooks and things like that. I mean, that's great. Like I said, if it works for you, that's amazing. I'm just, the idea of doing this, I wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah,
But
totally. Okay, I'm ready.
So skill number 2 is content creation. We live in a day and age where social media is so important when it comes to building a network marketing business, and content creation is one of the keys to success on social media. I often say if content is king, engagement is queen. We've got to create content and we've got to engage with people. But what are you doing to improve the level of content? Here is a great thing that you can do. And I've done for years and years and years, and it's allowed me to know exactly what my audience wants instead of trying to figure out what the algorithm wants. I'm more bothered about what my audience wants, because then the algorithm is going to favor me anyway. So here's what I do. I track everything. I write the piece of content, I write which platform, and then 24 hours after I hit post, I go back and I see how many likes, how many loves, how many comments, how many views, how many saves, how many shares. I try and get as much data as I can. And then I create the next piece of content 24 hours after, and I do the same and same again, because I can then tell, whoa, my audience loves it when I talk about social media in a live format. My audience love when I talk about quotes in a text format. That's what you got to go do. So skill number 2, content creation.
I was just nodding because I'm like, this is actually a reasonable piece of advice, but in the MLM world, it doesn't really matter if you're tracking, because if you're tracking what performs well and what doesn't, if they don't know you're in an MLM, that could be why someone is engaging with your content. And then if they're aware that MLM is a scam and you say, hey, do you know about Amway? They're going to block you. So I think in the small business context, it's a good idea because you need to know how your stuff is performing.
yeah, but like, what most of us do is we don't look at it every single day. Like you can't look at your data every single day because you don't have time for that. But so like we use like reporting software for our clients who opt for it, and we give them like a monthly report, and we're like, okay, here were your popular posts. And so I'll notice like, oh wow, Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. seem like a good time to post, or like this kind, we do have a catering company, and it's funny because their tablescapes do really well on Facebook, but the couples pictures do better on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? So like we are like, okay, like so we can kind of see patterns over time and try stuff. But and it's a lot easier when you're looking at stuff together versus like one post at a time. So
that's a good bit. Maybe
I
it's
don't
not
know. Like because otherwise like you're like in the minutia and you're like, okay, was it that I talked about social media, or is it that, Sunday nights are just a better time to live stream than Fridays or whatever.
Do
I'm
you
just
think
catching up.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I think this is the James. Okay. Someone thinks this is like a guy from the TED Talks. I don't know if I know this person.
Let me Google it.
Okay. Like,
and this is Frazer Brooks.
Yeah, this is Frazer Brooks, but maybe he has a doppelganger because he does look like a guy I dated in my mid-20s. Maybe he just looks like a lot of people.
It looks like him. Very similar. Very, very similar. I agree.
Content is king, engagement is queen, but his sound quality is in the royal dungeon. What's really funny is usually his production value is like okay. Hey DC.
Hello.
So yeah, like usually his production value is better than this, which is why this seems odd to me. Because I guess I don't know, Heather. Maybe you've watched more Fraser Brooks content than I have, but I feel like he's usually like in a room. He's usually kind of professionally like put together, and he usually has like a whiteboard or a computer screen. Like usually there's like a bit of production value, in the thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Usually it's of higher value. So I see a comment from Genevieve here.
Yes.
That Amway was disparaging the use of social media. Did they change their model / strategy? This is not Amway. I'm not sure if you're joking around there.
Yeah, well, I mean, like this is a network marketing coach, so he like
got everything.
This advice could be for anybody. That's the whole point of it. So
totally. He probably got a lot of his stuff indirectly from Dexter Yeager, from the co-founders of Amway, because I've learned from my videos from like the 70s and the 80s, I hear a lot of the same stuff parroted nowadays from MLM coaches and distributors that was said in the 70s and the 80s. So it's so interesting.
That's so interesting. It would be really interesting to like cut together like sort of professional development. Like here's something from the 70s, here's something, like the same thing like together. That's so cool that you're like an expert in this like subgenre of like old Amway stuff, Heather. That's really cool.
I wouldn't say expert, I just find it fascinating.
Absolutely. All right, let's get
I'm ready.
Back to this fascinating creature here.
Yep.
All right, so skill number 3, connecting with new people. Now, in the 90s and even the noughties in network marketing, this was such an important skill because people always ran out of people to talk to, and that was the number one biggest issue that people went through. I've run out of people to talk to. There's no one left on my list. How do I generate leads? Now, it's super simple. Now, I've done another video on this, how to generate a lead and how to connect with new people. So I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but use Facebook groups, Instagram comments, go and find people who already have your audience, go and connect with them, and then go and establish relationships and leads that way. Connecting with new people, super important skill. Okay, so
what do you think about that as an actual small business owner? Do you grow?
No, I think that is important. I try to like there's a pretty big area event happening on September 8th. And it's like in the middle of the day. It's kind of annoying, but I'm like, you know what? Like I need to show my face at it. So sometimes I do that to like, and it's funny because sometimes after going to a networking event, like somebody will email me the next day and be like, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you about. It kind of like jogs their memory that I exist. Yeah. But like, I probably do like maybe one networking event a month. Like I'm not like, and obviously I'm on social media. So, people will, I'll see stuff go by and leave comments or whatever. But yeah, like I think it's important to meet new people. But I think if you're meeting new people just to sell them something, they can definitely feel that. And nobody likes that.
I think it's a bit different in your case because you're going out to meet people, maybe talk about services. And then if they need your services, they will reach out to you, or maybe you give them a card. But in the MLM sense, you're right. You're trying to connect with people to get them to buy a product or get them to join your downline where you're not going to make any money. And you're trying to bring someone into a scam. So it's a bit different. You're not trying to scam someone by networking. You're trying to provide a high quality service.
Well, and I'm also like just trying to find out like what's going on in the community or whatever too. Cause I've like learned like, oh, like this business is closing, like, or, oh, this like this new person just moved to town. Like I usually like find out some interesting things, even in this small town I live in. You think I could stay on top of all the scuttlebutt going on, but but you gotta like, sometimes you gotta go in person to hear what's really going on. But
did you see the comment here? It's a really good one.
Yeah, I was it's a really good point about like, the difference between meeting people and manipulating them to join your MLM or yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to these things to be like, oh, I'm going to sell people some stuff. I just, like I said, it's mostly like, let's see what's going on in the community. Let's see like what they're talking about at this event. Let's, let's get in front of some new people. But not, it's maybe the long game or whatever. And I gotta like Red Wing saying it looks like he's gonna demonstrate some amazing kitchen tools like the slap chalk with the egg slicer. I'm a sucker for those what are they called? Infomercials.
Oh yeah.
Appliances. Yeah, I've always wanted to be on one. It's been a dream of mine. But I want to be the dumb person on it. Like,
that's funny.
I don't know. I don't think you can cut a can with that knife. What do you guys think? That's my dream. To be on an infomercial. So if anyone can make that happen, that would be great. Yeah, like real networking versus a transactional relationship. Exactly. Like you said, you know, and I think people can definitely tell the difference. And then, yeah, there's a real business owner. So qualified interactions are business related. But as a hun, every interaction must be business related. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great points.
Yeah. And Elaine says he does remind her of an infomercial person. And he does for me too. Like I said, there's something about this guy that's interesting to me, but I really wish he'd take his whatever and would point it away from network marketing.
I agree completely.
Skill number 4, I mentioned it previously, but it's actually engaging on other people's content. Did you know that supporting other people with their goals is actually going to help you move your goals forward? Why? Because when you support other people with their goals, guess what? The right people will support you with your goals, allowing a level and a layer of accountability that you super, super need in this day and age. All right? So
that doesn't make sense. If you are liking someone else's posts, unless they're in your downline, it's not going to impact your business. So I don't really see that connection.
I think this is a are you familiar with Zig Ziglar at all?
I've heard of them.
Yeah. So his whole saying is you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And it's always rubbed me the wrong way. Like that this is a thing because again, like, yeah, the difference between like some interactions are business related versus every interaction must be business related. Like that's the difference in what it feels like. Oh, it looks like you got a super sticker from Samantha. Thanks, Samantha.
I wanted you to finish your sentence.
No. It's yeah, like I think it's this sort of like, you know, allusion to the Zig Ziglar thing of like if you help enough other people, you know, that they'll help you get what you want. And again, if you like look at relationships in this transactional way, it's like that's really not it. And people do not like being treated that way. I mean, I certainly don't.
And I think we are liking people's pages, we are commenting on their pictures so they will notice us and then respond to our messages when we're trying to pitch them our business. So again, we're not liking someone liking their picture just because we want to make them feel good. We have an ulterior motive.
Right. And you can help someone just to help them, you know, like that's totally valid. And yeah. And I think you should, yeah. I mean, it is nice if you are on a social platform to like spend some time on it, you know, yeah, like to build relationships there versus just posting content. Which is what a lot of my clients just want to put. They're like, oh, I just want to post stuff. I'm like, okay, but you're going to get more out of it once you start making those connections. And for one of them, we started tagging a lot of the co-vendors and stuff. And then these people have been, the other vendors at these events have been resharing the stuff. And so they're getting a lot more engagement because, you know, they're tagging these people and then they're just hitting the reshare button, you know, like it's super easy. So,
and Samantha, thank you again. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Samantha. And then, yeah, I really think being a general nice person will give you something back, but you should not rely on that. Exactly. Like we're nice people because we're nice people.
A long time ago on my channel, I was almost at 100 subscribers, right? And I was doing a video about recognition in Beachbody. And someone left a comment like, hey, I saw you hit 100 subscribers. I'm going to say congratulations because I'm proud of you, not because I want you to feel love and affection from me so you'll join my downline, something along those lines. Like, I'm going to tell you congratulations because I'm proud of you, not because I want something from you. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I remember like working with I had this incompetent coworker, and I remember my boss sat me down and it was like, well, he's a really nice guy. And I said, oh, are we getting paid for being nice here? Because I'm nice and I do my job.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, anyway. All right.
I'm
Yeah, like we're both. Oops.
Engaging on other people's content. As I mentioned, content is king, engagement is queen. So we've got to create content and engage, but do it in an authentic way. Don't just go, love this, or fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, or you're amazing, right? Think of
Wrong you are too.
really, I didn't even notice that.
YOU, yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta just put it on the screen because
well, don't just go, love this, or fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, or you're amazing, right? Think about it, right?
Yeah.
That's my nightmare. That I write high level documents for a living, and if I handed something like that into my boss where I used the wrong your, I don't know why I would say your in any of my stuff, but I would not be laughed at, but it'd be like, what are you doing? You know better than that.
Well, like, or just like, yeah, you just get a copy of Grammarly, or you have someone else look at it. And you can manage around like this content stuff, but I just thought it was funny that he wrote that because
I didn't even notice that. Oh, Trey's here. Hi, Trey. We're just looking at an MLM coach named Frazer Brooks, and he's telling us about the most important skills we need to have for network marketing.
And they're very general, as you would expect. And there's no specific examples also like you would expect. So you have both, you've missed nothing.
Exactly.
But you could also rewatch the beginning and later on and be entertained. But all right, let's see what this fifth skill is going to be. I forgot.
A sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences, a paragraph. If it really relates to what you're doing, whether it's the brand you're building, the audience you're creating, your product, your offer, your service, your business, take the time to engage properly, because a lot of people have got the popcorn out looking through the comments and they see your comment. There's a bit of pedigree to your comment. They read it, they click on you, they check you out, they like what you're all about, and guess what? They hit the follow button. All right, so skill number 5.
Do you think people read your comments and are like, ooh, I really need to follow this Heather? Yeah, I don't think they do with mine either. I try to like respond when I get comments. I try to respond like with a thoughtful comment back. Again,
but I like have something thoughtful to say. And there's nothing wrong with saying great point.
Yeah, for sure.
To acknowledge that someone took time to comment, right?
Yeah, and you can like it or whatever. I'm just looking at who has the time. Yeah, and like I said, and I'm at the point where like my channel is still relatively small, so like I'm able to do that, but I understand like when your channel gets to a certain size, you can't necessarily like respond to every comment or anything like that. But yeah, being nice is the bare minimum.
And I would rather someone, if I comment on a video and say they don't have a whole lot to add other than great point, thanks for watching. I would rather that than they sit there and write out this long convoluted thing because they feel like they have to do more than just say great point and comes off really insincere and awkward because it's not actually just a natural comment. So what if you want to say amazing job? Why is that not good enough?
Yeah. Nope. No. Good point. And I love how they treat like posting things on social media, meeting new people on social media, and interacting with people on social media is listed as 3 different skills, right? Like they're like 3 different things. And I mean, they technically are, but they all theoretically have to do, according to him anyway, with social media. He didn't talk about going to like local networking groups or like, local business expos or anything like that. He talked about doing all that stuff online. So
interesting.
Yeah.
5 is seeing if people are open. Yes, you can create the content, you can engage, you can generate leads, but if you don't ask people if they're open to your product or service or your opportunity, then how are you going to get them into your business? Are you going to spam them? Are you going to say, hey, I noticed that you're a like-minded individual, and because you're a like-minded individual, you need to buy my product because I know because you're like me, you're going to absolutely love it. So click this link and see more, to learn more, to buy. Like, come on, that just does not work. The same as what people used to do. They used to write posts like this, looking for 3 motivated individuals to join my team. That used to work in 2012, 13, 14, 15. And for some people, the people who have the visible influence, the visible credibility, the authority, it can work for them. But for the masses, it doesn't. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get good at asking people if they are open to another stream of income, if they're open to seeing information about your game-changing system, Use the word system, not product or business. Why? We sell products, we join businesses, but we want to know everything about systems. System is a lucrative word. All right. So again, go out.
What does this? Yeah.
System. I love hearing that. We can talk about the system in a second. I love hearing these coaches talk like they are just so different and so inspirational with their views. But Ray Higdon literally tells you to say, hey, I was wondering if you're interested in looking at my product or opportunity. If not, no big deal. And then he's just saying, ask if they're open, which is probably very similar. And then Frazer's going to tell us to qualify people, right? Ray Higdon, he also says a prospect is not a prospect until you know they're open to looking at your service or opportunity. So they all say the exact same thing all the time.
Right. And the thing is, what they'll never tell you to do is like, you're not supposed to sell right away. Like they always say that, like, don't sell right away. But they'll never say, how do you know when it's the right time to present the opportunity? They will never tell you that.
Yep.
And if he says, are you open to this? And I say no, is he going to ask me again 6 months from now?
He's going to talk about that later.
Yeah. And that's what I think is like, and I think the reason that these people have a bad reputation in part is because they don't respect the, if someone says no, like we need to respect that. Like the whole following up until someone dies thing is like really not it. And then I love how he just pulled out systems. And I was like, wait a minute. So asking if someone is open to the opportunity. So what's the system to that? Like that you have a spreadsheet of people and I'm like, okay, there's Heather. I asked if she was open to the opportunity and she said no. So making a note, check in with Heather 6 months from now. On to the next person.
Yeah. And Jessica
is that his system?
Jessica said no means not right now. Maybe that's their system. But why are we using system the word system to try to pull people into our scam? Because I'm not a salesperson. I don't have my own business. I don't know. Is system something that you talk about when you have your own business?
Well, like I don't think anyone cares about my systems within the company. Like we have a project management system called Asana. And so when I get an email from a client that's like, my donation form isn't working, or hey, can you get me a quote about this? I'm like, okay, like who am I going to assign? Am I going to do it? Am I going to assign this to someone else? Like, what do they need to know to do the task? And I put it into our project management system. And and it's assigned to a project, like, and then if I need to know, I'll say like, I don't tell my staff to track their time unless I'm just billing for it. So I'm like, if you can just generally track your time for this task, just let me know. Like, I don't know. I think this is a 2-hour thing, but like, tell me, and I'm going to only charge them for 2 hours because I think that's fair. But if it takes you longer, like I want to kind of look at that going forward, maybe get you some more training or whatever. But I don't ask them to do that for everything, just for stuff that's sort of billable hourly. But yeah, but who cares about that? Unless you're like in my business, you don't care about my project management system. You don't care how we schedule our consultations. You don't care how we do our billing. Like these are all systems, but like, unless you're like in my company, like who cares?
Or unless you're giving business advice to someone.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'm helping them set up their own system.
And Anastasia said system sounds more reputable than scam. Kirsten said I'd be more open to a product, not system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm gonna sell you a system. Like again, like to me, like I have to come up with a system for somebody. I have to listen to the client and be like, oh, okay. Oh, you want to do an email newsletter? Oh, you're using the Square point of sale. Oh, like we can integrate that with MailChimp. So like let's integrate it so that when people put in their email in your point of sale, they're automatically added to your email list. So like I'm designing a system around their current processes. I'm not saying like, oh, you're gonna I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna just set up this thing and not take into consideration anything that you want. Yeah, systems are a lot about it's something that you have to talk about, right? Yeah, exactly. Like it's not something like you don't just like hand something to someone and be like, all right, good luck.
Here's your system.
I've not talked to you about it. I've not trained you in it. I've not customized it for you. Yeah. You talk to recruit like sales. Yeah. This is why their language is unattractive. Exactly. Like no one wants to be talked to like this. Exactly. So anyway,
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Out there and get good at asking the question to see if people are open. If they're open, amazing, move them on. If they're not open, then amazing, ask them for a referral or look to follow up with them in a few months. All right.
Look to follow up with them in a few months, or
Yeah.
ask them for a referral. And
Yeah.
I think in one of my Ray Higdon videos, I was like, like he said something about basically this thing, and I was like, hey, I keep trying to hit on you in the DMs, but like, do you have any like, you're not interested in me? Like, do you have any hot friends? Like, who will that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, like, you're not interested. Are you gonna pawn me off? Can you pawn me off on somebody else? And it's like, no, I don't. I'm not gonna do that to someone.
I would never give a name of someone I care about out to someone without their permission.
I would make up a name, like I don't know.
It's something that they might like. Say, we hire a cleaner and I really like the cleaner, and they're like, hey, do you have any referrals? I would say, oh, I have one friend who might be interested. Give me your card, and if they're interested, they can give you a call. But I would never just give out a friend's information without their permission.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, ding, ding. Me either.
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right. I'm just looking for that.
Right, so skill number 6. I think this is one of the most important ones, and it's not talked about enough, and that is getting good at qualifying people. This is a skill because there are 2 types of people who are going to show interest in what you've got. You've got a prospect and a suspect. Now, a suspect is curious. They're like, oh, yeah, here's my opportunity to see what he's really doing behind the scenes. They're curious. They're never going to join. They're just curious. They're a suspect. Whereas a prospect is someone who is serious. Yes, I need more in my life. Yes, I need more income. Yes, I need better health. They're serious, therefore they're a prospect. You will only ever find out this in one of 2 ways, the easy way or the hard way. The hard way is you just thinking that everyone is a prospect, you giving the information, you say, hey, like, would you be open to checking out some information on a game-changing system that I follow to lose weight? No worries if not, I just wanted to ask. They say yes, and you're going, okay, here's the link. You follow up with them, and guess what? They ghost you. They ignore you, and you're like, oh, well, the link doesn't work. No, the link works, the video works, the presentation works, but you just had a suspect watch the information. That's the hard way. Getting ghosted is hard. It's frustrating. It's hell. The easy way of finding out is by asking them, hey, you're interested. Why? Like, what is it that you need more of? Why do you need more money? Why do you need better health? Why are you interested in learning more? Right? They answer you. The more questions you ask, the harder it is for them to kind of like get the information. Therefore, you're qualifying them harder. Another thing you can
qualifying them harder.
It sounds silly, but I did some sales training, even though I'm not a salesperson, and you actually have to understand the value that your product or service could bring to your potential client. And there's no point in moving the person through the sales process if they aren't going to pay your price that you have for your product. If they don't actually see the value in your product, there's no point moving forward, right? But in this case, you are, like Kirsten said, vetting or qualifying people when they don't actually know what they're agreeing to. They don't fully understand that they're in Frazer's downline. They Frazer's company. They're not only losing money in their MLM, but they're losing money to Frazer every single month too. And they're not actually making an informed decision. So they're not actually qualified because they don't know what they're getting into. Does that make sense? That was
no, it totally makes sense. And I think I once wrote a blog post. I forget what I'm paraphrasing the title, but I called Here's to the Tire Kickers, because I do have a lot of people who contact me because they like want to know kind of what we're up to. They want to see our pricing list, like whatever. And to me, even if they don't ever become a customer, it's funny because I have this one, I'm thinking of this one person in particular, and she sent me like 5 clients. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's never been a client, but she's sent me clients. And just because somebody isn't interested themselves, like, doesn't mean that you having a conversation with them was like a waste of time. So again, if we look at it transactionally, you would think that, but it's like, okay, like I talked to this person, I know about their business, they know about mine, it's not a fit.
And that's okay.
No big deal.
And it's fun to, when I listened to this video, I was thinking it'd be so cool to hear about Nicole's perspective of these tips from an
Yeah.
actual small business
God.
owner. Because
Yeah.
Frazer's a business owner, Ray's a business owner. People in MLMs are not business owners.
Yeah, because their customers are
Yes.
MLM people that they're
Yep.
selling coaching to. Yeah, like ask yourselves, if you're ever not sure, if you happen upon this video for some reason and you've gotten this far and you're skeptical, congratulations. Good for you for watching this far. But like, why aren't these people in network marketing if it's so lucrative? Why are they coaching people?
Mhm.
You know, like ask yourself that. Like, if it was that lucrative, wouldn't they do that thing? Wouldn't they be
A
doing the
few
thing that
of
they
them
think is gonna make them a lot of money?
a few of them do. John Melton does.
Oh, okay.
Nessie Lee Ward does still.
Mhm.
But my opinion, I think the majority of the coaches do not build anymore. Some of them have said actively build. And so I'm thinking, okay, does that mean you're still at the top of your downline and
Mhm.
you're not actually doing anything, but you're still like getting checks every single month, right?
Yeah.
But like Danielle Ryan always says, Fraser Brooks, she doesn't say this about Fraser Brooks, but business coaches,
Mhm.
they are in the coaching part of it because that's
Mhm.
where they make their money.
Yes.
That's how they got rich, not in
Mhm.
the business area that they are coaching you in.
Yeah, and if like we had a pie chart of their income, you know, there used to be a blogger called Darren Rouse who did this every month. He did a pie chart breakdown of his blogging income, how much he made on ads, how much he made on sponsored posts, how much he made on selling courses, how much he made. And he didn't do like it was like, oh, I made 3 million doing this or whatever. It was just a percentage of his income. And it was really helpful to see because you saw like he was making income in a bunch of different ways, but he wasn't really making an income by selling the products. You know what
Oh.
I mean? Like he was making most of his income off of, you know, sponsored content and stuff. Like he had millions of blog visitors, but like it was like 10% of his revenue was advertising. So it
Mm.
kind of taught me to be like, okay, like I can't expect necessarily to make a full-time income just on ads on my blog. I have to monetize the blog in a different way, which is
Yep.
part of why I started the marketing company. But yeah, anyway, like so if we looked at a percentage of even what's the Melton guy's name that you were saying? John Melton. I if we did a pie chart of his income, I'm curious how much of it comes from Modera and how much of it comes from coaching. I'm
Yeah.
guessing the coaching piece of pie is bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's substantially bigger. Again, we don't know because we don't see there. Yeah. Anastasia is going to catch us on the replay. Awesome. And yeah, if anyone needs to bow out and catch us on the replay, that's totally cool. It's
totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do as well is get really good at the follow-ups. So you could say like, hey, if I share the information with you today, can you watch it tonight so I can introduce you to a friend of mine tomorrow? Does that sound fair? 4 magical words. Does that sound fair?
The whole managing when people watch stuff really bothers me. Brian Carruthers, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's pretty
I'm
low.
gonna do videos on him.
Yeah.
Him.
He his whole like I watched him do sales. He's like, I'm gonna do 3 sales calls, like and record myself doing them. Like he needed voice changers for the people and stuff. But his whole thing was like, I'm gonna send you a video. Like, it's 8:30 right now. Will you be able to watch it by 9 p.m.? And I was like, how fucking controlling do you have to be to manage when someone is going to consume a piece of content? Like Anastasia, she's like, great chat. I'll catch the rest on the replay. Are we going to guilt her for not staying on the stream?
And it would be the same as us guilting our people if we don't get a lot of views on something. Because we are not entitled to views or comments or likes. Frazer is not entitled for someone to follow up with him. Eric does the same thing. I reacted to a video of his a million years ago where he's like, oh, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow at 1. No, that doesn't work. When will it work? When will it work? And they just keep going and like pushing and pushing and pushing until they get an exact day and time that they can follow up. And then if they follow up and the person's like, no, I didn't do it yet, then you're going to get guilted.
Yeah, I know. I get those emails all the time. I'll be like, you know, it'll be like, hey, Nicole, like, you know, I have some, you know, marketing automation software, or I have some, whatever, a call center or whatever, you know, can we do a call Tuesday at 2 p.m.? And I'm like,
no,
don't presume you know my freaking schedule. Like Like, I just find it so presumptuous to like set a time in someone's calendar and then like, hey Nicole, just following up on the email I sent you. Like, I don't owe you an email. I get like, it would be of my full-time job going to these demos and answering those emails if I did. And yeah, video of always Marco going undercover in multi-level marketing meetings saying like, if you're making so much money, why is the parking lot full of older Hondas and Toyotas? Yeah,
Honda are great cars.
they really are.
They're very affordable. They're very low price. Like ours was quite affordable, but we're not high income. If you're making $400,000 a year in profit, maybe it's not important to you to have a nice fancy car, but you would think that like the base car and a vehicle like that, if they're all rich, would not be like a 1998 Toyota, you know?
Yeah. And I think Marie says, like, you know, I get wanting someone to have watched or viewed something before the second appointment. I totally get that. We get that. But like Lisa says, like, treat us like adults. Like, just don't manage like when I'm going to watch it. Maybe ask me, hey, when would you be able to watch this?
Oh, can I follow up with you on Wednesday?
Yeah, like there's ways of phrasing it without being like assuming someone's free at an exact day and time, or like being like, can you watch this right now? You know, I don't know.
They all teach the same thing too. They all want not just I'll follow up with you next week. They want you to say like, I will call you tomorrow at 1 p.m. That's when I will call you. And they don't actually ask permission sometimes. Some of them will just to dictate it, just to say when they're going to call you. And that's
right. And in the Brian Carruthers video, one of the people he called, like, you could hear, like, there was a voice changer, but you could hear kids in the background. You could hear the TV on and kids in the background. And it's like, can you watch this right now? And it's like, I don't know. It sounds like this poor woman's trying to put her kids to bed. Like, you know, maybe she could watch it later.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Just the whole like wanting to control people's experience or them at the beginning saying, you know, don't be looking at anything else. Don't be checking your emails. Don't be looking at your phone. Like, be taking notes. Just like when they're write this down, or like when they're controlling how you're consuming the content. It's one thing if I say, listen, this is like the most important point I think I'm going to make in this presentation. You can choose to write it down if you want. You can choose to record me saying it. You can choose to take a screenshot of the point on the screen. Like, there's any number of ways you could collect that information if you wanted to, but I'm not going to manage how you're consuming my content. Like, if you're listening to this right now, or you're doing the dishes or laundry or whatever, like, or mowing the lawn, like, good for you. Like, I don't care. I thank you for listening or watching.
Exactly.
If they ignore you, guess what? They've ghosted you already before they've even seen the link, before they've even seen the video or the presentation. So it wasn't a link that didn't work. You just had the wrong prospect/suspect. All right? So get good at qualifying people. Okay, skill number 7. Now, this is a weird one to say as a skill, but it's something you have to get good at, and you've got to keep growing. And that is get good at showing people the information. I would even say showing people the right information. Yes, I know you probably have a company presentation, a company overview, a team product demonstration, whatever it might be, but make sure you get the right information to the right person. Imagine this, you're a real estate agent and you have a 3-bedroom house on the market, and someone comes to you and says, I'm really interested in buying a house. You don't qualify them, you don't ask any questions, and you say, I've got the perfect one, meet me there 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So they meet you there and they walk around it and they go, I'm not looking for a 3-bedroom. I'm looking for a 5-bedroom with a pool. You didn't qualify, therefore you're giving the wrong information. Now, let's say you say, hey, this person comes in and says, I want a house. I'm looking for a 5-bedroom. And you ask, okay, do you want a garden? Do you want a view? Do you want a pool? They say, yes, yes, yes. So you now go and find the perfect house on your database. So you think of ideas, contact a few people and say, I've got the perfect one. Meet me there 10 a.m. tomorrow. You meet them there, they look around the house, they absolutely love it. Whether they buy it or not is a different question, but you've provided them the right information. So if someone's looking for more information about the product, share with them information about the product. They want more information about the business presentation. They want more information about the community video. If they want to learn more about the game-changing system, a video about the system, right? It's not one tool does everything. It's not one video makes all the sales. It's getting the right information matched with the right prospect where magic is created. Okay, skill number system.
Oh shoot, jeez.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll go find it in a sec. How is this the same? An MLM rep only has one opportunity usually. That's exactly what I was thinking as he was going along.
I think you're at like 10.
Yeah. The right information. Yeah.
And we went through that.
There we go.
We actually let him talk the whole time.
Yeah. No, and because while I was waiting, I was like, okay, yeah, like what different. First of all, no one is joining a business for the community. There's plenty of places in this day and age we can find community and lots of free places. You know,
I think some people might.
Oh, really? Okay.
In my mind, some people might, especially after COVID. But I don't know if people who are joining for community, are they also okay with not making money? Like, I don't think someone would join just for community and then make $0.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is if someone's looking specifically for community and they care about making money and maybe something else, but like the making money is the first and foremost. And when these people are disingenuously acting like people care about something else, like, well, some people are motivated by money. Some people just, really care about the products. I'm like, no, they wouldn't join. Like there's certain products I love, but like, I don't join the company because I'm not trying to sell them and make myself extra money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but it's, acting like there's a lot of different things you can sell them is really rich.
And Frazer has always said, do not say the name of your company when you're on your posts. And I think obviously that's just to control the information. So people have to go to you to get info on the company, on the opportunity or whatever. And we hear a lot in MLM where they'll say, only give information on what they asked, only answer questions that they actually ask, right? So if they don't want to know how you make money, don't tell them. Don't tell them. So withhold information that they actually need to know to be a qualified, well-informed prospect. Yeah. So they're not actually qualified like Frazer wants us to do. They're not actually qualified because they don't know how they're going to make money because they didn't think to ask and you didn't tell them.
Yeah.
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 That's all.
Yeah. It's
number 8, follow-ups. Now, I say follow-ups because most people say the fortune is in the follow-up, but it's not. You're not going to make a fortune if you follow up once. Follow-ups is a plural, right? It's many times. So the fortune is in the follow-ups. Now, I said no to network marketing when I was 18 years old. It was on the day that I turned 18. My dad, who was my upline and my mentor, he comes in. He wasn't my mentor at the time, my upline at the time. He comes in, he says, Frazer, happy 18th birthday. Come into the office. I've got something to show you.
Can you imagine your father recruiting you into his downline?
And he has said before, he was in network marketing from the womb, he said, because his parents were at a network marketing event when he was in his mom's belly. And he has grown up in network marketing, seeing his dad run around the world and them having a huge house. And he's going to say later that his dad's like, well, why not? You should join. You're ready now. And we've talked about this a lot in my Amway videos with the sons of the founders and the grandkids of the founders, if they actually have any level of cognitive dissonance when you grow up in this industry, if you know that majority of people aren't making any money. And he joined when his brain wasn't fully developed yet, before he had the capacity to know what the industry actually was.
Well, it sounds like he wasn't interested initially, even if he grew up in it. So,
true.
But
true.
Now, I'm thinking in my head, super successful business person, I'm going to get such a great 18th birthday gift. So he sits me on the prospects chair, he turns over a page on the flip chart, and he draws out the network marketing compensation plan. And I couldn't believe it. Dad, I've seen this 1,000 times. He said, yes, but you weren't able to join before you were 18. Now you are. Now it's time for you to get started. And I was like, all right, okay, Dad. No. He was like, whoa, Frazer, you're doing this. And I said, no. Now, he followed up with me every 3 months for 16 attempts over a 4-year period until one day I was ready. And he just kept doing it.
I just wanted to read access's thing here. My parents recruited my brother when he turned 18, and they tried to repeatedly recruit me, but I turned them down repeatedly. Can you imagine your parents putting you under that kind of pressure? And
Yeah.
he's only 18. He's a kid. His brain is not fully developed yet. He probably just wants to please his parents. Me at 18, I'm not going to, unless they're being assholes for some reason, I'm not going to just say no to my parents.
Do you know what? Yeah, and do you know what company he happened to be in?
No,
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's sad to me if dad ignored him until he joined the MLM.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the fact that, like, imagine that you grew up in this kind of wealth and you still needed to be followed up with 16 times every 3 months before you joined.
That's a great point.
Imagine, and this is his son. So imagine the amount of follow-ups that you would have to do to even be moderately successful in network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's one thing to like follow up with people once in a while. Like I said, I have a couple of people and I'll follow up with them occasionally, but like I'm not gonna bug the crap out of them. And I'm certainly not gonna like schedule every 3 months to call them until they finally say, fine, I'll let you do our company's marketing. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Was it him being ready or him just being hounded? But yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Also, hi Zoe. Is she yeah, they've been watching my channel for a while, but they're in Australia, so this is cool.
Hi Zoe.
Nice catching live. Yeah.
And I don't
great to see you, Zoe. Yeah.
I don't like the idea that his dad was like, no, you're doing this. You joined before you're 18 and now you're 18, so you're doing this. And that kind of ideology is really pushed now, where people feel entitled for their loved ones to join them. Where like, you're my spouse, you have to support me. It's like, well, no, spouses are allowed to question things if they think that you are in an unhealthy environment, if what you're doing could hurt yourself or your family and financially or mentally. Spouses, loved ones, if that you're in a good, solid relationship, they should be trying to protect you.
Exactly. Yeah. Being predatory is, people in his MLM probably were his entire upbringing, painfully hard to say no to your entire community.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. But PH Actress, like, you were so strong to be able to say no. And I admire that a lot.
Because I don't know if I could at 18.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could either.
Now I can, because I'm my own person and I don't need to do what people want me to do. But at 18, I would do this. I would have been like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah, that would have been really hard.
Yeah, and I could not find what MLM his dad is in.
Yeah, so if anybody happens to know in the comments, feel free to pipe in. But yeah, I'm not sure either. But
and DC, if you're still here, Simon Brooks is the dad's name, I think.
Yeah,
I just put it in. Nice. If someone wants to look him up.
Yeah, and I spelled Brooks. Yeah, I spelled Brooks wrong when I did the
Oh, you did.
The setup. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get playing here.
Doing it. And you know what? The longer he followed up with me, that wasn't the harder. It wasn't worse. He might have thought in his head, like, this guy's never going to say yes. But in my head, I was thinking, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. He's still living the dream. He's still working from home. He's still making more money. He's still traveling the world. Things that I weren't doing. And I thought, you know what? For things to change, I got to change. For things to get better, I got to get better. That Jim Rohn famously once said. So you got to get good at following up multiple times. And here's a key and a great thing for you to improve your skills on when it comes to following up. Tracking the reason why someone says no. No time, make a note. No money, make a note. Imagine saying this. Hey, Bob, hope you're doing good. Last time we spoke a few months ago, money was an issue. Is that still the case? Yes, it is. Bob, I hate the idea that my friends are struggling with money when I know I can help them. Just give me one chance to share with you what we've got here, right? Or if they say, no, money's not an issue, I'd be like, amazing, that's awesome. Do you know anyone right now who could do with some additional money? Get a referral. Why not? Help get them to make a post for you. There's lots of different options, right? Referral posts. Anyway, follow-ups. Okay, so skill number.
Okay, I could see the value as a business owner trying to understand why people may not want your service, because you might think if a lot of people are saying it's too expensive, maybe, okay, my target audience can't afford the price of my product, or maybe the website was convoluted and they don't fully understand what I'm trying to do with my business. Maybe there's something I can improve to reach more people. But in the MLM context, you're recording the reason to come back and manipulate them later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, like, who's going to be like, yeah, money's no object for me. You know, like, who's going to say, like, it's also none of your business. You know what I mean? Like, someone's financial situation. Yeah.
And if someone, you like, I don't know how it works in your business, you're pitching someone your service and they don't want your service, do you ask them why?
Yeah, sometimes if I feel like it's going to be a productive conversation, I'll be like, hey, like, you know, tell me, you know, and sometimes I'll wait for there to be a little distance. Like, I'll wait like 6 months or so. I'll be like, hey, like,
Just
yeah, well, and sometimes I'll just be like, hey, I'd like to, you know, and I'll either offer to buy them lunch like in person, or I'll be like, hey, can I send you some cash and then we can grab lunch virtually and we can talk a little bit about sort of your marketing and why you decided to go a different route so that I can learn a little bit more about my business process. I've done that a few times and I've had some really productive conversations. But like I said, some people you can just sort of tell that they want to see your pricing, or you know, they wanted to sort of pick your brain for free or whatever, like, you know. But
and I think what you just described, your motive is to improve your business or your delivery. You're not going to meet with these people to manipulate them into purchasing your service.
I feel like if the ship has sailed, like, I assume the ship has sailed. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not assuming I'm going to be able to manipulate them into anything. I just feel like
you're an actual business owner, right? And I love comparing this. That's why when I heard this, I was like, oh, I need to hear Nicole's opinion on these in the actual real business owner world.
Yeah. There's some good comments. Yeah. If you keep asking why and don't adapt, right? Because MLM businesses can't. What are you even using the information for exactly? Yeah.
And if I saw Oak said something above,
just give a friend some. Oh, did I miss something higher up? Just give a friend some money if you're doing so well.
I have it right here. And also, I would go no contact if someone in my family kept pressuring me for years.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Join my MLM. And that's hard to do. That's scary, right?
Yeah. And I think kind of we're seeing people do that more and more because, you know, not just because of MLMs, but lots of other reasons, you know, like boundaries are important. And if this person in your life is not going to respect your boundaries, even if they are your parent, like, you know, it's really hard to have a relationship with someone like that and have it be healthy.
Yep, exactly.
9, this is a big one, getting people started, getting them launched. The money is not made in the transaction, it's made in the transformation. Meaning, when you get a new sale or a sign up, you might get that email come through saying, congratulations, you have a new team member. Congratulations, you have a new customer. And you're like, yes! You go into the fridge, you get the champagne, you give it a shake, you pop the cork and you spray it. Like,
you don't shake champagne before you open it.
like you're Lewis Hamilton, although he's not been on pole for a while. Unless you're like Max Verstappen on podium, who just won the Grand Prix. There's champagne going everywhere, right? And then they decide to quit. And you're there, you've got the mop, you're trying to mop up all the champagne and squeezing it back into the bottle. It's just like, oh, celebrated too early. Yes, you might get a fast start bonus. You might get a retail bonus. You might get an order bonus, whatever. But that's not where the money is. The money is when you change someone's life. The money is when you change someone's life for the better. And how you do that is by getting them launched, getting them started. Hey, write your list. Hey, make this post on social media. Hey, let's decide when we can go live together on Facebook and Instagram. Hey, let's do your first exclusive Zoom that I talk about in my best-selling book, I Double Dare You. There are so many ways. We've got other videos on this, and I talk a lot about this in my books and my podcast. But for now, just understand, skill number 9, get people started, get them launched. Okay, so
the money's in the transformation. All he means is the money is in people staying in your downline so they contribute to your volume and therefore contribute to your bonuses. It doesn't matter if people aren't making money in your downline. They just need to be at a certain rank and maintain it and meet the requirements. And then you make it. It doesn't matter what happens to them other than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also like you're assuming that the person, like if I'm recruiting, if I'm new to the MLM model, like let's say I'm one of Frazer's downlines and
Mhm.
I'm recruiting people in, okay, I need to help my recruits start. What if I'm not successful? Like what if I don't know how to start? Like how am I going to support this person? At what point? So I'm not only trying to sell this myself, but I'm also trying to help them sell the exact same thing that I'm selling.
Exactly.
So like at what point like is that no longer sustainable, or because that's going to take a lot of time, you know? It's really hard to go from sort of that 0 to 1. I feel like there's even a book about like 0 to 1, which is like that idea of like that first start is like a ton of work. You know, getting that first 500 or 1,000 subscribers, you know, to monetize on YouTube. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, getting, you know, like that first bit. And then once you have some momentum, it's a little bit easier.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it is a lot of non-money making activities. Exactly, Zoe. And then Marie's equally horrified about like the from the mop, like getting the champagne from the mop. But yeah, he's assuming that you know how to be successful and you could show someone else how to do it. But like how what if you're not successful yet?
Mhm.
And most people aren't. So what are they gonna do?
What Ray would tell you to do is have memories of your future like it's your present, he says. So you pretend that you are this rich MLM distributor who's at the top of the company and you go into your business with that mindset, right? And if you just
Mhm.
keep having memories of your future, then it will become your present, right? So you
Yeah.
just pretend in Beachbody you're a 15-star diamond coach, and then lots and lots of people will want to join you because you're pretending you're wealthy and successful. Or you could also just say things like, my upline is a millionaire. This person is a millionaire in my company. Because then it shows that it's potentially possible, right? That it could
Mhm.
happen. Because they also always say, well, if people are making $1 million in your company, you can too, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like most people in network marketing aren't making any money, and like you know there's this whole like actually Zig Ziglar too has this like the idea of the affirmations.
Yep.
And I remember I was like a little bit into this a few years ago and I was like, all right, maybe, you know. And I tried looking at myself in the mirror and saying like things that weren't true about myself yet, and it felt like the idea that I have to brainwash lie to myself. I don't know. It's really weird to like pretend something's true that isn't. Like, especially
Mhm.
for like the kind of person who's like, wait a minute, lying is wrong. Misrepresenting myself is wrong. Like, and so instead I like thinking about like I want to be the kind of person that. So like, you know, it's like, oh, I want to be like whatever. Say I want to be, you
Outgoing.
know, yeah, a multimillionaire. Say I want to be the kind of person that is generous with their friends.
Mhm.
Right? So like that's actually something I can do now. But
Yep.
like me being like I'm a million, me looking at the mirror every day and being like I'm a millionaire, or writing in my journal I'm a New York Times bestselling author when it's not true yet. I don't know, that just feels really gross to me.
What I do often is say I'm feeling anxious about a social interaction, be like, I will have fun tonight. I will
Mhm.
talk to people. I
Yeah.
will be calm, right? There's a big
Yeah.
difference between, yeah, making something up that's not actually true and just something that is attainable and that you aspire
Right.
to.
Or like a behavior that you can exhibit
Yeah,
right now, you know,
yep.
like something you have actual control of right now. And some people
Maria,
in chat are talking about sort of mutual aid, like sort of like I've helped people out with small amounts of money. I've decided a few months ago I decided and I'm just sharing this in case like I decided to put a certain percentage of my budget toward mutual aid. So when I
mm,
see a cause go, you know, if I see something go by and I'm like, "Oh, like, you know, this kid's trying to raise money to do something," or "Oh, like this is a good cause I want to give to." I have a little like bucket in my budget like to go
love
toward
that.
that, so I could be
That's awesome.
spontaneous. And Marie's asking about my watch hours.
Yes,
I think
tell
I have
everybody.
yeah, I have like 100 before the start of the stream. I had 104 watch hours to go. I think what
Yeah,
happened was I had this Rachel Hollis video that had a lot of views on it, and then I think it sort of
yeah.
expired in the watch hours. I think that's what happened because it like had it, and then it went down, and I was like, oh crap. So We're pretty close here, folks.
So close. So close. You have the subs.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah. So getting there. So thanks for asking. All right. Should we get skill number 9 here?
Skill number 10.
10.
This is a big one. Promote the next event, the next major event. A lot of people don't. This is how a lot of people in their mind think about when it comes to promoting events. Like, I could promote to my team or promote to my prospects to buy a product or get more stock or build a team, and I'm going to get rewarded from the company. They spend $100 on product, I'm going to get a percentage. Pay $100 to join the business, I get a percentage. But if I get someone on my team to spend $100 to buy a ticket to an event, $200, $300, I'm not going to get anything from that. However, you've got to think long term, because when someone gets in the room, they see the bigger picture. I always say, whenever you go to an event or you speak to a mentor, you get one piece of the jigsaw puzzle. It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. You will not be able to get the big picture by having one piece. You have to consistently go and get more people and more people and more people. They even say more meetings means more money. And the best metric to follow and track to see if you are growing is go, okay, I had 3 people at this event. Next one, I need to have 5. Next one, 10, 20, 30. And if you grow your event attendance, your business is growing from a zoomed out view. Another perspective is, let's say there is 1,000 people at the event and you have 10 people there. You have 1% of the growth. You have 1% of the business in that market. Now, the next event is 2,000 people. You've got to have 20 people in your organization at that event to keep in line with the growth. So aim for 25, aim for 30. Okay, guys, so before I give you a bonus skill, I just want to say a massive thank you for tuning in. Oh
my God.
I think it all comes from Amway, honestly, but in Amway, they tell you constantly, in the 70s and 80s too, you cannot miss a single event. You have to follow your upline, your crown, whatever upline around the state, or else you're not going to hear that one tidbit that is just going to blow up your business, get you to crown ambassador, and change your entire life. And John Melton and Ray Higdon were just talking about that too, how you can't understand the full breadth of the opportunity unless you're at the events. It's literally just brainwashing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I'm an emotional person. If I'm with 10,000 people who are screaming and excited, I'm also going to be screaming and excited because I'm going to feed off of that,
Yeah, exactly. And and I don't know, it just seems, and these events too, and I think we talked about this the last time too, about events and just the fact that these events are really expensive, to get to, because it's not just about the event ticket. It's about the hotel and the food and the travel and the, suddenly you've spent a few $1,000s to get to this 3-day event or something. And is it really going to help your business? No,
because as you say, there's no substance.
Yeah. You watch these trainings and you're like, okay, I didn't learn how to run Facebook ads. I didn't learn how to set up my email newsletter. I didn't learn how to start a text list and what I should write on it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in a normal, average small business environment, the success of your company is not dependent on your employees spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to a brainwashing events. You just need your employees to be efficient in their job.
Right. And if I want people to go to an event, I should pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
I should pay for their time and their travel to go to it.
And their food.
I should pay for everything. They're at work.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jessica and I go and do our business trips with our client, she'll try to pay for stuff, and I'm like, we're on a work trip.
Yep.
I appreciate you wanting me to buy me this breakfast sandwich, but we're on a work trip.
Exactly.
It's
I just want to see Alexandra said life leaderships events were every 3 months, and my husband went to all of them. Alexandra, is that an Amway thing or is that an MLM thing? What do you mean? I'm interested. If you're okay.
I've never heard of life's leadership either.
Yeah. Let us know what you mean.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready for our bonus skill?
I'm ready to go.
You already know.
This video. If you've made it this far, I really, really appreciate you. So do me a favor, let me know that you've made it this far by dropping down in the comments which skill you are actually going to take like attention on. What skill are you going to focus on? Once you've given a comment, give us a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and you'd be doing us a huge favor if you could take a screenshot of what's on your device right now and posting it into your Instagram stories and encouraging your network marketing friends and family to watch this video to help them level up. They level up.
Okay, we got Alexandra says, yeah, life leadership is an emblem created by Amway dropouts.
I'm making a note. I'm going to look into that. I was like,
yeah.
Because I thought it sounded Amway Tool Scan Company-ish. Like I thought it was an Amway thing. And it's funny that it's not affiliated, related to Amway in that way. So thank you for telling me. And I'm putting it in my phone.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting breadcrumb for sure.
Totally.
Right.
You level up, we all win as a result. All right. And I appreciate that. Okay. So skill number 11 is having an accountability partner who is capable and that you trust. So I have something called the Inner Circle coaching program where I or some of our qualified, dedicated accountability partners will actually hold your hand and every single week say to you, hey, have you done this? Hey, have you done that? What's your goal for next week? What were your numbers for this week? And it's funny because everyone who we hold accountable seems to just absolutely crush it. We have Billy over in Paris. His revenue has doubled from last month because of the accountability process. We have Rachel over in Malaysia. Her revenue has absolutely skyrocketed since she's been held accountable.
I think her name is really Rachel.
They're Mario and Monique over in Italy and Hungary. They're completely crushing it, having their best month ever because they're accountable to us every single week. So if you want to raise your accountability, there will be a link down below somewhere where you can check out more about the Inner Circle. I hope that it's something that you like. I hope that it's something that you enjoy. If you want more information, you can go ahead and book a call with one of our team. But for now, I hope you got value for that video. Remember, smash the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Every MLM coach everywhere has an inner circle. They all do. And they all say they're the only way that you can ever find success, that you have to join their inner circle if you want to make money.
Yeah. Also, if you want an accountability partner, you can just have one. I've had an accountability partner that I got paired with. I was in this random like Facebook group and they're like, hey, we're doing accountability partners. Who wants one? And I said, oh, I'll take one. And I've been accountability partners with this woman for 9 years.
And how is that?
We meet once a week. Sometimes if we're traveling or something, we don't or whatever, but we meet up once a week and we talk about the stuff. Like right now I'm working on my women-owned business certification, which is this in-depth thing I've been avoiding for like 4 years because I hate paperwork. But every week when we get together, we catch up and I like follow up on stuff she mentioned. She follows up on stuff I mentioned. And then like I said, I'm currently working on the women-owned business certification, but yeah, we can sort of ask each other questions or sort of like, hey, like, you had that meeting. How did that go? Like, did you follow up with that person? So you can just have an accountability partner. Like I said, this is just was a random free Facebook business group I was in. But you can also just be someone, like maybe it's someone like, that you sort of know and they're in a different, industry than you are or something, but you just admire them and you say, hey, like I've been looking for somebody to like, talk to once a week or once a month or however often you want to meet. And then we also have our co-working space. We pivoted to virtual memberships during COVID. So we still have like about 10 virtual members right now. And so we have like a morning Zoom call and we just like talk about what we're going to do. And we'll ask you, I'll be like, I've been avoiding this thing. Ask me about it tomorrow. And they'll be like, hey, did you email that client? I'm like, yep, I did. Mostly because I don't want them to ask me and I have to tell them I didn't do it again. So, so yeah, you can do this stuff without these people.
Exactly. And if you are in a business, like if you're actually a small business owner, you can find accountability with anyone. Yeah. Really, like, could it be like your spouse? Could they be your accountability buddy?
I'm sure they could.
Your grandma, they just need to know what you're doing and like what your goals are so they can actually like follow up on certain things with you, right? But yeah, I think accountability partners are a great thing because it can help you stay on track. But just like with a lot of things in MLM, kind of ruins it.
Yeah, they take a good idea and they sort of commoditize it.
And you like, have yes, like you have to spend however much money on Tony Robbins' inner circle, on John Melton's inner circle, Sarah Robbins. They all have it. They all have one. And you can't just go to your friend who also has a small business and talk over coffee. It has to be like $100 a month. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But I would say that that's been really good for me. And it's funny, we still haven't met in real life yet. She lives in Nashville. I've gotta get down there at some point.
Trey said something.
Yeah.
Just look going. Oh, so Trey donated to a fund for the victims and families of Hawaii. Donated what I could. Took a few days to find the right organization to donate.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, the fires. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's like I said. If I think we all, if we can help each other out, like, and I'm seeing a lot more mutual aid. I'm seeing a lot more of it the last couple of years, and I think it's great. Like, hey, if and if you're worried that someone is, I don't know, taking advantage of it or something, what I think about it is, well, then they needed the money more than I did anyway. If they're that desperate that they felt like they had to lie about something, and I do not think that is happening most of the time, by the way, but if for some reason it would happen, 1 out of every 10 times, I always feel like, oh, well, they must have needed it more than I did anyway.
And we're donating because we're just trying to be nice people and causes we care about. There's not some underlying motive to that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We're just trying to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, literally that.
Yeah. So I don't think I have anything else to say. How about
I don't think I do. I don't think I do either. This is a great video. Thanks for finding it.
Super fun. You're welcome.
I was like, we should talk about Frazer Brooks. Heather's like, well, I'll see what I can find. And this was a good find. And I think this was posted, like 3 months ago or something? This
it's relatively recent.
Yeah. Yeah. It was posted 1 month ago. So it's a relatively recent Frazer Brooks video. So content I had not seen before.
Yeah. I definitely keep an eye on his channel.
Yeah.
I keep on top of things.
You sure do. You're like an expert in this stuff. That's awesome.
Thank you. That's awesome. Oh, Kirsten, this was awesome. I hope you can collab again.
Yes, I know. We always, Heather and I have collabed before, and I'm sure we'll do it again. And I'm just going to drop the link for my chat to Heather's channel. So feel free to subscribe to her. She's got great content. She live streams a lot. She's like live streaming goals for me.
Aww.
And
then there's yours.
Yeah. So
this was awesome. And we had a lot of people in the chat, which is
I know. There's always such cool people, and they always add such like nice comments and insight and stuff. So thanks to everyone who participated, and even those who were listening. Appreciate you all. And Heather, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.
Yeah. Bye.